नमस्कार, बहुत-बहुत स्वागत है गाइस आपके अपने ही चैनल केएफसीएस और स्पोर्ट्स ब्रेकडाउन पे। स्पोर्ट्स ब्रेकडाउन पे ऑडियंस और केएफसीएस दोनों ऑडियंस का बहुत-बहुत स्वागत है गाइस। आप लोगों का सपोर्ट जैसा कि हमेशा बना रहता है, ऐसा ही बना रहे, मैं यही चाहूँगा। और गाइस आज आप लोग देख रहे होंगे मेरी खुशी अ, एक ही रीज़न है जसप्रीत बुमराह का कमबैक जो कि बहुत ही ज़रूरी था भारतीय टीम के लिए। बॉलिंग में स्टेबिलिटी के लिए अब मैं कह सकता हूँ कि भारतीय टीम की जो बॉलिंग है अब वो एक और भी बेहतरीन हो चुकी है। हालाँकि हमने मोहम्मद शमी, मोहम्मद सिराज इनको देखा है अपने लेवल पे किस तरह से उन्होंने परफ़ॉर्मेंस दिया, टीम इंडिया को मैचेस जिताए ओडीआई में। लेकिन अब सडनली जिस तरह से जसप्रीत बुमराह का कमबैक हो रहा है आयरलैंड की सीरीज़ में कैप्टेंसी करेंगे, ज़्यादा बॉलिंग करने का मौका मिलेगा। इसके अलावा एशिया कप और फिर ऑस्ट्रेलियन टूर। तो अ, ऑल ऑफ द सडन आप कह सकते हैं कि भारतीय टीम में जो है एक बूस्ट हो गया है और कॉन्फिडेंस बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़ गया है कि अब जो है भारतीय टीम को जसप्रीत बुमराह की सर्विसेज़ मिलेंगी और जब जसप्रीत बुमराह होंगे तो भारतीय टीम की जो बॉलिंग अटैक है सडनली एक वर्ल्ड क्लास लेवल पे दिखेगी। तो ये बहुत अच्छी खबर है इंडियन फैन्स के लिए भी कि अब आपके पास जो टॉप 3 बॉलर्स अगर मैं कहूँ, हार्दिक पांड्या आपके चौथे बॉलर हो जाएँगे और 3 में मोहम्मद शमी, सिराज और जसप्रीत बुमराह आपके बॉलर्स बच जाएँगे। लेकिन अभी भी सवाल जो है बहुत सारे हैं पूछने के लिए क्योंकि इंडियन टीम जो है, जिस तरह से इन्होंने एक्सपेरिमेंट किया है ओडीआई सीरीज़ की मैं बात कर रहा हूँ कि इस वक़्त 1-1 से बराबरी पे खड़ा है, इस बारे में भी बातचीत हम करेंगे। तो उससे पहले गाइस जो भी कोई मेरे साथ जुड़ना चाहता है, वो मेरे साथ जुड़ सकता है। मैं लिंक डिस्क्रिप्शन में दे रहा हूँ आपको कमेंट सेक्शन में आप जुड़ सकते हैं और अपने व्यूज़ रख सकते हैं। तो गाइस आज हम पूरी बातचीत करेंगे, इंडियन स्क्वाड को डिटेल में जानने की कोशिश करेंगे, क्या इंडियन स्क्वाड है। मैं आपको बता देता हूँ कि वीडियोज़ में आज क्या-क्या डिस्कशन होगा। जैसे ही हमारे साथ होंगे फैन्स, क्रिकेट फैन्स, तो जैसे ही राहुल अय्यर हमारे साथ होंगे उनके साथ डिस्कशन होगा। सबसे पहले डिस्कशन होगा इंडिया की आयरलैंड टीम जो आयरलैंड में जो टीम जा रही है, इंडियन टीम कैसी लग रही है? क्या किस तरह की टीम है? और क्या विज़न है इंडियन टीम का टी20 के लिए? और कौन से प्लेयर को रेस्ट दिया गया है? क्यों दिया गया है? उसके अलावा थर्ड ओडीआई मैच जो कि एक डिसाइडर है, वहाँ पर क्या हो सकती है टीम कॉम्बिनेशन? क्या दिमाग में चल रहा है? और इंडिया का क्या विज़न है वर्ल्ड कप के लिए? क्या प्रिपरेशन है? क्या होनी चाहिए और क्या नहीं होनी चाहिए? इस पे पूरी बातचीत करेंगे और उसके अलावा एक हिस्टोरिकल विन और एक बहुत ही अच्छा मैं कह सकता हूँ कि विदाई दी है इंग्लैंड ने स्टुअर्ट ब्रॉड को। स्टुअर्ट ब्रॉड ने 2 विकेट्स चटकाए लास्ट के 2 और 604 विकेट अपने इंटरनेशनल टेस्ट मैच में उन्होंने लिए हैं, जो कि एक रिकॉर्ड है। 604 विकेट लेना अपने आप में बहुत बड़ी बात, जो स्टुअर्ट ब्रॉड के लिए बहुत बड़ा दिन। और 2-2 से जो एशेज़ ड्रॉ हो गया है, तो बहुत सारे क्रिकेट फैंस चाहते थे कि स्टुअर्ट ब्रॉड को उनका जो फेयरवेल है वो मिले, तो फाइनली जो है वो अच्छा फेयरवेल मिला है, तो इस बारे में लास्ट में हम बातचीत करेंगे। तो गाइस हम शुरू करते हैं डिस्कशन को। तो जब तक हमारे साथ फैंस जुड़ते हैं फिर हम उनसे बातचीत करेंगे। तो उससे पहले हम बात करते हैं जसप्रीत बुमराह कैप्टेंसी उनको दी गई है और इसके पीछे क्या रीज़न है इसके बारे में मैं थोड़ा आपको बताता हूँ। मैं थोड़ा-सा आपको टीम शेयर कर दे रहा हूँ, आप टीम देखिए और ये रही टीम जो कि सेलेक्ट हुई है। अब एक-एक करके बात करते हैं सारे प्लेयर्स के ऊपर। सबसे पहले जसप्रीत बुमराह जैसे कि आप लोगों को अपडेट रेगुलर इंटरवल्स में जैसे-जैसे अपडेट आ रही थी, केएफसीएस आपको अपडेट दे रहा था कि जसप्रीत बुमराह अपने को अ, तैयार कर रहे हैं। वो हर दिन 10-10, 12 ओवर की बॉलिंग कर रहे हैं, फ़िटनेस लेवल पे वर्क कर रहे हैं। हालाँकि जसप्रीत बुमराह जो है काफ़ी लंबे समय से टीम इंडिया से बाहर हैं, लेकिन जो उनका जो अपडेट्स आ रही थी कि वो काफ़ी ज़्यादा अपने लिए काम कर रहे हैं, तो ये चीज़ें दिख रही है। अब फाइनली जो है बीसीसीआई ने उन्हें आयरलैंड टूर पे बुलाया है, तो इसका मतलब ये है कि जानते हैं वो भी कि अब जो है जसप्रीत बुमराह को उस समय हो आ गया है कि अब मैदान में उतारें, थोड़ी प्रैक्टिस मिलनी बहुत ज़रूरी है। तो उस लिहाज से मुझे लगता है जसप्रीत बुमराह को कैप्टन भी इस वजह से बनाया है क्योंकि एक लौते एक्सपीरियंस प्लेयर हैं इस अ, टीम में तो कहीं न कहीं जब वो कप्तान बन के जाएँगे तो उनका मोरल और भी ज़्यादा बूस्ट होगा। तो एक तरह से कॉन्फिडेंस को बढ़ाने के लिए उन्होंने कप्तान बनाया है। वहीं दूसरी और थर्ड टीम की हम बातचीत करें, ऋतुराज गायकवाड़ जिनको कप्तानी मिली है एशियन गेम्स की, यहाँ वाइस कप्तान होंगे। उसके अलावा यशस्वी जायसवाल हैं। यशस्वी जायसवाल की अगर मैं बात करूँ तो उनको वेस्ट इंडीज़ में टी20 खेलने का मौका मिलेगा, वही मौका उन्हें यहाँ भी मिल रहा है यशस्वी जायसवाल को। जायसवाल के लिए बहुत बड़ा दिन, और ये जायसवाल को जो है अलग-अलग जगह पे खेलने का मौका मिलेगा। पहले वेस्ट इंडीज़ में खेलेंगे, फिर अब आयरलैंड में खेलते हुए नज़र आएँगे। तो मैं कहूँगा कि ये एक बहुत ही बेहतरीन मौका है युवा के लिए। फिर तिलक वर्मा हैं, रिंकू सिंह को फाइनली मौका मिला है। रिंकू सिंह का नाम जो है बहुत ज़्यादा मिस कर रहे थे कि वेस्ट इंडीज़ टूर में रिंकू सिंह का नाम क्यों नहीं लिया गया। फाइनली रिंकू सिंह भी आ गए हैं मिडल ऑर्डर में। तो आप देख सकते हैं कि मिडल ऑर्डर में जो है रिंकू सिंह आपको खेलते हुए नज़र आएँगे। वहीं शिवम दुबे नज़र आ रहे हैं एज़ एन ऑलराउंडर। वाशिंगटन सुंदर, शाहबाज़ अहमद। तो वाशिंगटन सुंदर, शाहबाज़ अहमद एक तरह से आपको राइट हैंड बॉलिंग, लेफ्ट हैंड बॉलर्स नज़र आ रहे हैं, एज़ एन ऑलराउंडर खेलते हुए नज़र आएँगे। उसके अलावा विकेट कीपर्स की हम थोड़ी बात करें तो ये थोड़ा डिबेटेबल है। पे संजू सैमसन का नाम होना, तो संजू सैमसन को खिलाया जा रहा है, कहीं न कहीं इंडिकेशन इस बात का भी है कि संजू सैमसन जो है इंडियन टीम के कीपर होने वाले हैं वर्ल्ड कप में, ऐसा लग रहा है। इसके अलावा जितेश शर्मा जिनको ग्रूम करने की कोशिश की जा रही है कि जितेश शर्मा जिस तरह से मिडल ऑर्डर में आईपीएल में उनका परफॉर्मेंस है, क्या वो परफॉर्मेंस इंडियन टीम के लिए भी रहती है? तो ये भी देखना होगा। इसके अलावा बॉलर्स की बात में जसप्रीत बुमराह के साथ जो एनसीए में थे प्रसिद्ध कृष्णा, उनकी वापसी हुई है। इसके अलावा अर्शदीप सिंह, मुकेश कुमार बहुत ही शानदार अभी तक ओडीआई और टेस्ट में रहे हैं। टी20 में देखना होगा, हालांकि आईपीएल में हमने देखा दिल्ली कैपिटल्स की तरफ से कुछ मुश्किल ओवर्स डाले थे, कुछ हर सिचुएशन में उन्होंने बॉलिंग की थी, तो ठीक-ठाक उनका परफॉर्मेंस था। अर्शदीप सिंह इम्पोर्टेंट है फिर से इंडियन टीम को वर्ल्ड कप टीम के लिए कि क्या अर्शदीप सिंह को मौका मिलेगा। वहीं बिश्नोई जब इन्हें मौका मिला इन्होंने अच्छा परफॉर्मेंस किया। अवेश खान खुद को साबित करने की पूरी कोशिश करेंगे कि वो एक प्रॉमिसिंग हैं, वो प्रॉमिसिंग प्लेयर हैं, तो अपने को ज़रूर साबित करेंगे इस टूर पे। तो बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट टूर रहेगा ये अवेश खान के लिए। तो मेरे को ओवरऑल जो टीम है ये सही नज़र आ रही है। अब थोड़ा-सा हम प्लेइंग 11 इनकी बनाने की कोशिश करते हैं, तो मुझे लगता है कि इस प्लेइंग 11 में यशस्वी जायसवाल और इसमें कोई डाउट नहीं कि यशस्वी जायसवाल और गायकवाड़ नंबर ओपन कर जाएँगे। उसके बाद आपके थर्ड नंबर पे संजू सैमसन, ऑटोमेटिकली संजू सैमसन रहेंगे, फिर तिलक वर्मा, रिंकू सिंह, ये मेरे 5 हो गए। उसके अलावा 6 पर मेबी 6 पर मुझे लगता है शिवम दुबे होंगे। शिवम दुबे के बाद 7वें नंबर पे वाशिंगटन सुंदर, शाहबाज़ में अहमद में से एक, फिर 8वें नंबर पे बिश्नोई, 9 पर अ, जसप्रीत बुमराह, 10 पर कृष्णा और 11वें पर शायद मुकेश कुमार या फिर अर्शदीप सिंह में से एक नज़र आएँगे। मेरे को टीम कुछ ऐसी नज़र आ रही है। बैटिंग में इतना कोई कन्फ्यूज़न नहीं है और सर्टेन है कि ऋतुराज गायकवाड़ और यशस्वी जायसवाल ने ओपन करना है, तो इसमें मुझे कोई डाउट लग नहीं रहा है। बाकी टी20 सीरीज़ है 5 मैचों की, तो इसमें मौके मिलेंगे, जितेश शर्मा को भी मौके मिलेंगे और बॉलर्स भी यहाँ पे आपको रोटेट होते हुए नज़र आएँगे। कई मैचेज़ ऐसे भी होंगे मेबी जहाँ पर जसप्रीत बुमराह आपको खेलते हुए नज़र नहीं आएँगे, लेकिन मुझे लगता है कि जसप्रीत बुमराह को खेलना चाहिए और वो खेलेंगे भी, तो इसके आसार मुझे लग रहे हैं और वो ज़रूर खेलेंगे। तो मुझे लगता है कि जो है ये टीम अच्छी नज़र आ रही है और अ, अगर हम देखें तो यहाँ पे 3 वर्ल्ड कप के खिलाड़ी जो हैं पिक किए जा सकते हैं। मुझे इसमें जो नाम है वहाँ पे जसप्रीत बुमराह तो हैं ही, साथ के साथ संजू सैमसन और मुझे लगता है कि अर्शदीप सिंह या प्रसिद्ध कृष्णा डिपेंड अपॉन परफॉर्मेंस, दोनों में से एक प्लेयर ज़रूर आपको वर्ल्ड कप में खेलते हुए नज़र आएँगे, मुझे ऐसा लगता है। बाकी देखते हैं स्क्वाड कैसा रहेगा इंडियन वर्ल्ड कप टीम का, लेकिन अ, ये सीरीज़ जो है इम्पोर्टेंट रहेगा। बुमराह की फ़िटनेस को सबसे ज़्यादा देखा जाएगा इस मैच में कि बुमराह जो है बॉलिंग कर रहे हैं, तो क्या वही रिदम से बॉलिंग करेंगे जिस रिदम के लिए वो जाने जाते हैं, जिस तरह से उनको खेलना चाहिए। तो मुझे लगता है कि उस पर्सपेक्टिव में जसप्रीत बुमराह को देखा जाएगा इस टूर पे। और इस टूर पे अच्छी खासी नज़र रहेगी प्रसिद्ध कृष्णा पर, संजू सैमसन पर कि संजू सैमसन कौन से पेस पे खेल सकते हैं। तो मुझे लगता है कि रिंकू सिंह जो कि आने वाले फ्यूचर बल्लेबाज जो कि तिलक वर्मा, रिंकू सिंह, यशस्वी जायसवाल, ऋतुराज गायकवाड़, इन पे सबसे ज़्यादा नज़रें रहेंगी। तो देखना होगा कि टी20 की टीम किस तरह सेटअप होगी। हालांकि इसमें कुछ प्लेयर्स हैं जिनको रेस्ट दिया गया है। मुझे लगता है हार्दिक पांड्या को खेलना चाहिए था, क्योंकि प्रैक्टिस के लिहाज से, क्योंकि हार्दिक पांड्या जो है टेस्ट मैच खेलते नहीं हैं। और अगर हम बात करें तो ओडीआई भी बहुत दिनों बाद हुए हैं, तो मुझे लगता है कि इतना टायर्ड नहीं होना चाहिए। हार्दिक पांड्या को यहाँ पे खेलना चाहिए, रेस्ट की मुझे लगता नहीं आवश्यकता थी। मुझे लगता है कि अगर वो एशिया कप से पहले ये टी20 मैच खेलते तो थोड़ा सा जो है फ्रेश और होते और ज़्यादा एक्सपीरियंस होता। बेशक बॉलिंग आप 1 से 2 ओवर की कराते, लेकिन बैटिंग अगर करते तो थोड़ा ज़्यादा अ, अच्छा फील करते, क्योंकि हार्दिक पांड्या जो है उनका प्रॉब्लम चल रहा है। उन्होंने बैटिंग उस तरह से कर नहीं रहे हैं। स्टार्टिंग में हमने देखा था इस साल भी जब ऑस्ट्रेलिया के साथ खेल रहे थे 2-1 से, जो ऑस्ट्रेलिया हारी ऑस्ट्रेलिया से हारी थी टीम इंडिया, उसमें हार्दिक पांड्या का कॉन्फिडेंस बहुत लो था और इतना खास वो कर नहीं रहे थे। तो ये चिंता का सबब है। और मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि इस चीज़ पे जो है थोड़ा ध्यान देने की आवश्यकता है। और बिल्कुल, ये जो टीम है वो बहुत ही ज़्यादा अच्छी नज़र आ रही है। तो मेरे को लगता है कि ये सारे मैचेस जीतने चाहिए। बाकी आयरलैंड की जो टीम है वो अभी रिसेंटली भी टी20 के लिए क्वालिफाई किया है। सो देखना होगा कि इस तरह का परफॉर्मेंस रहता है। ये ज़रूर हम बातचीत करेंगे इस बारे में डिटेल में, लेकिन बड़ी न्यूज़ ये है कि गाइस फाइनली जसप्रीत बुमराह आ चुके हैं। बुमराह आए हैं तो काफ़ी कुछ जो है लेकर आएंगे टीम के लिए अ, बूस्ट होगा। क्योंकि अब आप देखिए जसप्रीत बुमराह के आने से जो टीम की जो बॉलिंग है सडनली बहुत ही शानदार नज़र आएगी। तो जसप्रीत बुमराह मेरे लिए कहूँगा कि बहुत अच्छी गुड न्यूज़ है, क्योंकि ऑलरेडी भारतीय टीम जिस तरह से बैटिंग में स्ट्रगल कर रही है, एक्सपेरिमेंट्स हो रहे हैं नंबर 4 और 5 के लिए। स्टिल अभी तक केएल राहुल और श्रेयस अय्यर का कुछ पता नहीं है कि क्या सीन रहने वाला है और कब तक अवेलेबिलिटी रहेगी। मोस्ट प्रोबेबली एशिया कप तक भी ये है कि शायद एशिया कप तक श्रेयस अय्यर केएल राहुल आ जाएंगे। सो मुझे लगता है कि इस प्रोस्पेक्टिव में अभी देखना पड़ेगा। 4-5 की जो है खोज जारी है। क्या सूर्य कुमार यादव हैं आपके 4 या संजू सैमसन हैं, या फिर 4-5 में आप ईशान किशन और संजू सैमसन दोनों को देख रहे हैं। तो बहुत सारे सवाल हैं, उनके जवाब देने होंगे। और शायद इंडिया को ढूंढना भी पड़ेगा। अगर श्रेयस अय्यर आ जाते हैं तो मुझे लगता है कि नंबर 5 के लिए इतना सोचना नहीं पड़ेगा। लेकिन अभी सवाल बहुत सारे ये आते हैं मन में कि क्या इंडियन टीम जो है एक लेफ्ट हैंडर को भी ढूंढ रही है, क्योंकि सारे के सारे राइट हैंडर्स यहाँ पर नज़र आ रहे हैं। तो उस पर्सपेक्टिव में भी ईशान किशन का खेलना बनता है। और क्या फिर अगर एक लेफ्ट हैंडर सही चलाना है तो मुझे लगता है श्रेयस अय्यर यहाँ पर। तो हमारे साथ राहुल अय्यर आ चुके हैं। सो हेलो राहुल, हाउ आर यू?
Yes, hi Kunal, how are you?
Fine. And some
Well,
good news that now Bumrah is available to play for international cricket. So he will start his international cricket with T20 as a captain against Ireland. And I think Rahul, this is a good time for Jasprit Bumrah to show his skills, because Ireland recently qualified for T20 World Cup.
I'm not very sure about this move, in my opinion, because okay, him coming back to the team, fine. He needs some to get some matches under his belt. I understand before the Asia Cup, and unfortunately, we don't have ODIs after this after the last ODI against West Indies tomorrow. We don't have any ODIs between that series and the Asia Cup. So yeah, I understand Bumrah needs some matches under his belt, but making him the captain of the team is a little bit questionable to me, especially when you've got Sanju Samson in the team. When you have Sanju Samson in the team, who's captained an IPL team before, You could have made him the captain. There is also uh, yeah, Rutraj Gaikwad, who is going to captain the team in the Asian Games. So you could have made him also a captain, or even anyone else in this team. But I'm not a fan of Bumrah being the captain, because he's just now come back into the team. He's making his return into the team. He should not be given the burden of captaincy as well, in my opinion. So I don't think that's a very good move. Yeah, okay, bring him for the series, selecting him in the team. That's okay, but making him the captain of the team is a little bit too far.
Yeah, but I think when we see the squad, you can see the squad in the screen. Rahul Iyer, don't you think that BCCI is thinking that if Jasprit Bumrah will go as an experienced person, and when he will be the captain, he can rotate each and every youngster. Especially when you see the batters, there is no confusion, no sort of confusion. You can pick your top five easily. Rahul, you can pick
Yeah.
your top five easily. So I think selection wise, batsman and all rounder they have. But I think they are making the captain Jasprit Bumrah in order so that he can rotate all the players and all players will get equal opportunities to show his skills. I think in that way they are bringing Jasprit Bumrah so that Jasprit Bumrah will offer you some bowling also as well as captaincy also.
Mm, yeah, he can do that, but I feel, I mean, my concern is, he just now came back into the team, so giving him that extra burden of captaincy, because captaincy is not just walking out for the toss, for
Yeah.
the coin toss. You also have to think, and you have to manage the other players, so it's very hard to, it's actually a big ask. They're asking a lot of Jasprit Bumrah, because not only is he coming back and doing his bowling, he's also, um, he also has to manage the other players, and he has to get into that kind of a mindset too, and that too when he's not a regular captain of any team, be it in Test, One Day, or T20, or in IPL. He's not a regular captain, so that's a bit of a questionable move. The one advantage I'll say behind Bumrah being the captain is he can manage his own bowling.
Yes.
Like, he will, because another, he will know how much he can take as a bowler. He will, and if he'll know his workload, he can manage his own workload better if he's the captain than if some other person is the captain. That could possibly be a logical reason. That's the only logical reason I see behind making Bumrah
Yes.
the captain. Otherwise, it doesn't make much sense to me. That's a little bit surprising.
Sometimes, Rahul, it's happened that when you want some confidence, when you want to bring some confidence from a player, sometimes board can do this. We have seen same few countries also that captain when they see the busy schedule. But question is that Rahul, don't you think that Hardik Pandya should play this too? Why? Because Hardik Pandya is not in your test team. Okay, you have very few ODIs. Why not Hardik Pandya should get a game? Not I'm not saying that Hardik Pandya bowl all the 4 overs, maybe 1 2 overs, but bat proper manner. If he bats in a proper manner, he will get some confidence. Because I don't think that Hardik Pandya will come overnight and suddenly perform in World Cup. So I think for batting
Is
perspective,
Hardik Pandya playing in the T20 squad, out of my curiosity, against West Indies? Against West Indies, is he there in the T20 squad?
yes,
Or
yes, he is there in a T20 squad. He is a captain.
Hmm.
I understand,
Yes,
but Rahul, practice is a big thing. Before
yes.
World Cup, you have to do practice, and same discussion we have for third ODI as well. Third ODI, we need to win it to win the series, and apart from winning the series, practice is important. So when I see the stats and I see the column, I saw that each and every year India doing the same mistake. I don't know why Indian team is not playing together before World Cup. At the time of World Cup, they are playing in a you can say in a different manner. One is resting, one is saying there is workload management. Only one, two players are playing, and as a result, what we see in the World Cup that only two players is performing, and another nine players are playing on their own way. So that is the problem with Team India over the years.
Yeah, it's been a big problem with the team, and in fact, a prime example of that is actually the 2021 T20 World Cup. Although we were there in UAE, we are playing in those conditions. We are playing that format of T20 cricket, where there were other international cricketers in the competition. The problem is when you spent that one full month playing cricket on different teams, on different IPL teams. You can't suddenly get team spirit overnight and come together and perform in a World Cup. It's very difficult to do.
Yes, of course. And I'm a little bit surprised that BCCI knows each and everything, each and every schedule. Even we always know the World Cup will be playing this year in this country. So we have how many windows to organize the matches. Then why BCCI have very less ODI matches? I think they know it 2 years before that we have to play the World Cup in this date. So we have
Yeah.
this window between IPL and this. I know you can't. Uh,
Of course, BCCI, the only thing you can say they got thrown off by is um, this tournament. Actually, the World Cup would have been in normal course if not for COVID. This would have been over in February and March itself.
yes,
In that time itself, this tournament would have been finished. But the problem, but actually, the problem of the tournament being postponed to October, November means BCCI has more time to, or first of all, organize this event, and second of all, give the team preparation for the tournament. There is more time. How many times in World Cup has there been like us being in July and August and World Cup still hasn't happened? You won't get that every time. That
yes,
World Cup will be in October and November, and then you have the whole year right from the start to prepare for the World Cup. So normally World Cup is once in 4 years, but it might, the actual gap between the World Cup may not be exactly 4 years. It might be less than 4 years at sometimes. But in this case, we've gotten more than 4 years. Uh,
yes,
Time, because last World Cup ended in July of 2019, and this World Cup is starting in October 2023. So you can count that out. It's 1 year and 3 months that of preparation that India has got for this World Cup. That is, they've gotten longer than they would have, and still they've not organized one day cricket properly. I understand that since the 2019 World Cup, the schedule got um, a little bit thrown off by COVID, but it, it actually worked out good for BCCI in that they got more time to prepare for the World Cup, and easily they should have organized more ODI cricket. Although we didn't prepare well for last year's T20 World Cup, one thing I will say to their credit is BCCI organized mostly T20 cricket
yes,
during that time. That's what the one thing they did correctly in last year is they organized more T20 matches for the team and less of ODI cricket. Only maybe some ODI matches which counted for World Cup Super League were played. Uh, and even in those matches, we didn't choose our first choice playing 11, because actually for us, World Cup Super League wasn't quite applicable because we already qualified as the host nation this time. But the thing is, uh, BCCI did one thing correctly for last year's T20 World Cup is that they organized more international T20s for the team to prepare for the World Cup. That is the one thing they did correctly, I will say. So they should have done the same for ODI cricket this year. Organize less T20s and more ODI cricket. In an ODI cricket World Cup year, if you're not organizing enough, scheduling enough ODI matches, when will you?
yes, of course.
And
But
as a matter of fact, I want to go beyond this World Cup a little bit as well.
yeah,
Between the 2023 ODI World Cup and next year's T20 World Cup, which is in June. Do you know how many ODIs India is going to play? Only three ODIs in South Africa. And I actually had a chance to look at the Future Tours program. I actually have the PDF downloaded on my laptop. I looked at the Future Tours program, and what was even more shocking to me is between the T20 World Cup and the Champions Trophy in 2025, India is playing only six ODIs. Only six ODIs. Every other team is playing more ODIs than India in that period. Even Zimbabwe and Ireland, who might not even be in the Champions Trophy, are playing more ODIs than India in that period, which is, we're talking about June 2024 to February 2025, which is when the Champions Trophy is slated. The only other team uh, that's playing less ODIs is Afghanistan, who's also playing six ODIs in that period, as much as India. Again, they're not unlikely to feature in the Champions Trophy. Afghanistan is unlikely to feature in the Champions Trophy. Teams that are going to feature in that event, they have scheduled more ODIs in that period, from June 2024 to February 2025. So again, India is going to be short on preparation, and this is a tournament, by the way. Champions Trophy 2025 is a tournament that is going to be held in Pakistan, where India has not played any cricket for since 2008. We have not played any cricket in Pakistan, and this is, of course, assuming that Indian team will get clearance to travel to that tournament. Assumption that we get clearance to travel to this tournament. All the other teams have played in Pakistan in recent times. India has not played in Pakistan since 2008, so we're going to be at a disadvantage in that Champions Trophy event as well. We must remember, even for this 2023 World Cup, which we are hosting, we're not prepared.
Yes, of course. But okay, you have very fixed schedule. But if we know that we have very fixed schedule, then why not players are not playing together? Because we have only 5 6 matches. Because when you play together, Rahul, you accept my views that when you play together, you will know about the players, the running between the wickets, the discipline, and coordination also, which is very important for a team. You will try to coordinate each and every player. Even Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma, they will get some time to spend in front of audience in a ground. Some players, because it happens, Rahul, when you come into the World Cup playing. One is coming from rest, one is come from workload management, one is coming after the long break. Then what happens suddenly that in a ground you are thinking that you are not playing like an Indian. It is looks like an IPL type. So don't want to take that type of risk. I think India should play together. Your playing 11. As of now, I think India is only problem with 4 and 5. For 4 and 5, what they are doing, Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli is resting, and they suddenly disturb the whole team finally. So, do you think that this is a time to disturb your whole playing 11 for 4 and 5 position?
No, absolutely not. See, if you're saying you want to figure out the four and five position, rotate players in those positions. Why do you have to change your opening batsman, or your number three, your one down batsman? Why do you have to change those things in order to figure out number four and number five? It doesn't. There is no logic behind that at all. And one thing, you spoke about coordination. Actually, cricket is a sport. It's a team sport where you have one-on-one contests, because the way cricket is played, it's in the form of a one-on-one contest between a bowler and a batsman. uh, that's how the sport is played. A little different from football, where in football you need to have the coordination, like between the forwards, defense, midfield. And even if you have star players on the field, if their coordination is not good, you may not play gel together as a team. But actually the same holds true in cricket. Although you could win without coordination, you just pick very good players in your team and put them in the playing 11. in what to say, theoretically it's possible, but practically it won't work. You need to have coordination in cricket as well. So that is a very good point you mentioned about the team coordination. No matter how good a player you are, you can't, and in fact in any team sport, the whole thing is about playing for a team. So you can't simply go and come whenever you want. I follow tennis as well as a sport, and their players, they pick and choose which tournaments to play. But in tennis is an individual sport, so that is fine, because you're only playing for yourself, you're not playing for a team. But in cricket you can't do that. But one thing has to be asked, what is the fitness level of these cricketers? Let's say if they're skipping matches so frequently, because in cricket matches generally, if you look at the schedule, you play once in 4 days, once in 3 days. You compare that with sports like tennis, for example. In tennis, you play players often play every day over a week, and week in and week out they play every single day. Considering they go to the final, they end up playing every single day, and that's a more intensive sport than cricket. And still they're not breaking down like these cricketers, and they do it week in and week out, and they're able to stay fit. But unfortunately, cricketers are not able to do that. That has to be questioned, really, whether it's actually fitness problem or it's a commitment problem. That really has to be asked, because these same cricketers, they play 14 to 16 to 17 IPL matches in 2 months, April and May, and that too, that's a like one of the hottest periods in India. And India, many parts of India, you know it, it doesn't, it's hot even during evening matches over there, and players are playing in that heat. They're playing every match. But when it comes to international cricket, they can't even play continuously for like 5 matches in 2 weeks. Something is wrong with that, in my opinion. There is, uh, to me, it doesn't seem like a fitness problem, more like a problem with commitment to playing for the team. Of course, there's no way of verifying. Nobody, none of the players called me and told me, "Yeah, I'm not interested uh, in playing," but that's what it looks like.
Yes, of course. Okay, so we have finally Krishna Nair is coming. So welcome, Krishna. How are you? I hope Krishna you are listening me. Okay, when Krishna will come, we'll discuss. Okay, so I want to remind the time of the T20 World Cup. So let's go to October 2022. So at that time, what happens? Suddenly, you see the keeper option. Dinesh Karthik was there. I think you remember that time when
Yeah.
Rishabh Pant was ignored. They are ignoring young talent in a place of the experienced player. I think Karthik was not that much experienced. He was just coming from IPL, a good IPL season, I can say, as a commentator when he come to play and he make a good. But at that time, what there is a vision. The vision was that to groom Rishabh Pant, right? So they want to groom Rishabh Pant in all the formats. Suddenly, Rishabh Pant come to the New Zealand and then he becomes the opener. I think you remember that time also when
Yes.
Hardik Pandya was captain. They tried, but Rishabh Pant not be able to convert his start. Problem was that. Then after that, the time changes suddenly. After Rishabh Pant, they tried Ishan Kishan because when they see that the
Yes,
Rishabh
yes,
Pant
I'm
is
back.
not, yeah. Uh, okay, welcome Krishna. So I will coming to you, Krishna. So Rahul,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So Rahul, we see the changes of wicketkeeper day by day. Suddenly, when Rishabh Pant is not well, then we go to Sanju Samson. Now Ishan Kishan. So, do you think Rahul Iyer, Indian team has lack of common sense? They are not utilizing the keepers properly. They are just changing continuously. Actually, they don't know that what type of role they have to give to their keeper, especially Ishan Kishan. You are using him as an opener. Everyone knows he can't open in World Cup. Same thing happened with Rishabh Pant too. When 1-2 failure, he dropped Rishabh Pant finally, and they bring another player. So don't you think that they must balance the wicket keeper after the retirement of MS Dhoni? You need some wicket keeper who can give you a long run. So for a long run, you have to continue with one keeper. So don't you think, Rahul Iyer, that BCCI need to think about that, not just rotating their keepers each and every month?
See, first of all, uh, right now they have this Srikar Bharat, who's wicket keeping in Test cricket. Let's not forget that one. Um, so Srikar Bharat, he's only a placeholder in the Test team. Honestly, he's not done anything of great value or note in his Test career. And Ishan Kishan tried in Test cricket recently. Also played one half century in a series against West Indies. Uh,
Yes,
let's not forget that. So there isn't. A replacement for Rishabh Pant in Test cricket. So in Test cricket, Rishabh Pant is the primary option. I think BCCI has to identify that first of all. Rishabh Pant is your Test cricket wicket keeper. That is the thing. Whether you have Pant for keeping for ODIs or T20s or not, uh, if you want to go with a different wicket keeper in those formats, go ahead. But Rishabh Pant is the wicket keeper in Test cricket. That's it. That should be etched in stone. Now, for as far as last year's T20 World Cup, Dinesh Karthik only made it because he had a fantastic IPL
IPL.
season. Yeah,
Yes,
but there, yeah, like you said, the team has to show a little bit of common sense. Dinesh Karthik is not some 19-year-old or 18-year-old with a future ahead of him in the Indian team. He's not the future of your team. Yes, he has experience. That is on his side, but he's not the future of your team. And there is no guarantee that just at his age, that just because he had a good IPL season, he will do well for you in the World Cup too. And then this IPL season, Dinesh Karthik was a flop. He
yes,
completely flopped because unfortunately again another useless team management he plays for in IPL, which is RCB. Uh,
yes.
they also don't manage things properly. Our Indian cricket team is becoming like them slowly. So so Dinesh Karthik has to be ruled out as a wicket keeping option, in my opinion. They have
That
to
was
choose
actually
between.
my example. That was my example, that how BCCI is using their sense. They are bringing what type of keeper, what they needed, and what they are bringing. Actually, that was my example.
Yeah, absolutely. The fact that they picked Dinesh Karthik in the year 2022, that Dinesh Karthik was playing for India, shows they don't have common sense at all. So then coming to Ishan Kishan and Sanju Samson, to be frank, uh, neither of them have shown too much promise in one day cricket either, although Sanju Samson has a fantastic average of 66. Let's be honest, most of them have came against weaker teams. Over Ishan Kishan, though, I would prefer Sanju Samson in one day cricket. If I had to choose between these two in one day cricket, it would be Sanju Samson for me. Whether he replaces Rishabh Pant or not is a little bit of a question mark. But I think for T20 cricket, I might go again with Sanju Samson over Ishan Kishan, in my opinion, and maybe keep Rishabh Pant for one day cricket. Uh, so these would be my options. I think BCCI has to zero in on this. If they zero in on something else other than this, well and good. But at least back some player and give them a long rope, a continuous run. With Sanju Samson, the problem is he's not been given a long run. He's done well under the circumstances he's been given. Actually, had a decent series against South Africa last year. That's the only series he actually played against a strong team. And of course, it India toured New Zealand for an ODI series after the T20 World Cup, and in that he scored a 34 of 36. But the problem is most of the teams matches they've played are against teams like Sri Lanka, Zimbabwe, and West Indies. So you've not given them a long run. And same thing with Ishan Kishan, they're giving them chances, but only against weaker teams. So they're showing that they kind of don't back these players to do well. If BCCI also says Rishabh Pant is the keeper for all three formats, that is also fine with me. But at least they should make that decision now. Don't give Sanju Samson and Ishan Kishan only matches against some weaker teams, and then against stronger teams say no, no, you can't play. This team is too strong. We need a first playing 11. But I'm afraid under Hardik Pandya they might do these kind of things, because Hardik Pandya last year, if you recall, I think it was July 2022, a year ago almost. You remember what he said, that we can play with the two or three teams and we can still win tournaments. We can choose two or three playing 11s and we can still win tournaments. With our primary playing 11 right here, we've not won a tournament for 10 years. So, what is he talking about? Frankly.
Yes.
But Hardik Pandya will follow this philosophy of having different playing 11s. He might do this. So forget about one wicket keeper being standard. Playing 11 itself might not be standard under Hardik Pandya. That is a concern for me.
Yes, of course. And if we talk about the BCCI also, they tried their best to recover Rishabh Pant for a World Cup. They tried from January. But my question is here that you have very less ODI matches. So why you are disturbing your opening combination? You are bringing Ishan Kishan as an opener. You are not giving him opening slot. It's better you are searching for left-hander also, because you have dropped Shikhar Dhawan. So if you want some left-hander in a top four, maybe four or five, why not you are using Ishan Kishan in number four and five? Might be it works, but you are using him as an opener. So how we can know that Rishabh Pant replacement can be Ishan Kishan? Maybe in future. Can you think about that? So don't you think that Ishan Kishan must play on that place, that rotation that we are thinking for? Might be because Sanju Samson is not that type of promising player. We have tried all the time, but consistency is not that great. But Ishan Kishan have that ability. But what we need is Ishan Kishan should play on that place where Rishabh Pant must play. If Rishabh Pant is available, definitely he will play for four or five. So don't you think, Rahul, that Ishan Kishan should play on same place? Because we want a player who
Yes,
can play in middle
absolutely.
order. If I play with all the openers, then all the openers can't form a good middle order.
Yes, absolutely. I agree with that point. Of course, having spoken about these three, there is a possibility if BCCI thinks that selectors they think that two of these three or all these three are good enough to be in the playing 11. If that's what they think, they can even choose all of them in the playing 11, have one of them keep wickets. That's also an option. Yeah, normally I understand you don't choose two or three wicket keepers in your playing 11, but if because they will have to field which they are not used to. But Sanju Samson and Ishan Kishan are two players who are used to fielding as well. It's not like they've only been wicket keepers in their career. Rishabh Pant is a player who's only been a wicket keeper in his career, so he's more of a specialist wicket keeper than Ishan Kishan or Sanju Samson. Uh, so a distinction has to be made like this, because not every player who's a wicket keeper is a specialist, and not every player who's a wicket keeper has done only wicket keeping in their career. They may also be someone used to fielding, being in the field. So that distinction has to be made. And the other thing is, uh, they're being selected more for their batting abilities
Yes.
than their wicket keeping abilities. If they're good batsmen, you can't and there are no other options. You can't simply drop them because you want only one wicket keeper. You have to be a little bit flexible in this way.
Yes, of course. But now question is that why I am using the word Rishabh Pant, because when Dhoni was there, we were using the example of MS Dhoni, that be like MS Dhoni, his captaincy, his wicket keeping. But now when he after his retirement, suddenly Rishabh Pant came, gave such stability. So for that stability, we are thinking that might be Ishan Kishan is in your team that provides you stability, but unfortunately we are using him as an opener, right? So if you are using Ishan Kishan as an opener, then Sanju Samson is your option. But Sanju Samson is that not that much consistent, and we are not confident about his wicket keeping too. So can you solve this problem? So Krishna Nair, my question for you, uh, are you there?
Yes, yes, I'm there, Kunal.
Yeah. So Krishna Nair, we know that each and every Indians, they know that Rishabh Pant can't come in this World Cup. But what the problem is, Ishan Kishan can't play in middle order. Indian team try him in an opening combination, while Sanju Samson, he is not that much consistent. He can make runs in one matches, two matches, but we want some consistent wicketkeeper batsman. Okay, we don't know KL Rahul fitness also. Might be he will come or not. Form is also big concern. So according to you, Krishna Nair, what should we do? Who will be the perfect keeper for India in World Cup?
Yeah, it's a very difficult task to choose a keeper because KL is injured. I don't know what is his state, whether he will come for he will be fit for the ODI series against Australia or not. So Sanju Samson is also a decent keeper, not a great keeper. Means as a batting keeper, if you want, then it's a big difficult task that Rishabh Pant won't be playing. I hope he gets fit for the World Cup, but it seems doubt.
No, it
So,
is confirmed. It is confirmed that Rishabh Pant not be available for World Cup. He will come on next year when England will come to India, and he will finally play for India.
so it's a very. I feel Ishan Kishan or Sanju Samson one will be the keeper, but I will prefer. It's a difficult option to choose a keeper between Sanju or Ishan because both are not experienced. Means both haven't done keeping for a long time for Indian team. So it is very difficult choice. But I feel Indian team will go with Ishan Kishan. If KL Rahul is also not uh, will be fit or not. I don't know what is his state. Uh, it's a very keeping main. It's big problem for Indian team after Dhoni retirement. Indian team has been struggling for keeping because you don't have a legend keeper like Dhoni. So it's very difficult task. Who will keep for you in the ODI World Cup? I,
But
I pref-
I think Dhoni become legend. Why? Because he shows some ability that he can hit. He needs some more balls than we see in his initial career. He was starting their career in number three, and then suddenly he become number six. Why? Because of his finishing ability, that he can finish the matches easily. Same happened with Rishabh Pant too. When we see that he is finishing in a good way, good manner, then suddenly he plays in number four, number five. Then someone think that he needs some more balls. Then India tried their best. Might be he can open the innings. So it happens. But problem is that uh, suppose if there is injury, so BCCI have not that type of management that if there is injury, there will be a part-time wicket keeper that who can
So I
place
have one
finish.
option, Konal, that if you can remove Surya Kumar Yadav because he's not consistent as well in ODI cricket, so you remove
Yes,
Surya Kumar, play both Sanju and Ishan in the ODI 11. Uh, keep whoever you want to keep with. Keep with Sanju or keep with Ishan. Whoever wants to keep, it's your decision. But play both in the 11. So before the ODI World Cup, play both in the 11 like you did in the second ODI against West Indies. Play both in the 11 uh, let's see who does good keeping and good batting for you. So that will decide for you in the World Cup who will be your main keeper for the ODI World Cup.
so Rahul satisfied with answer.
Yeah, it makes sense now. As far as I had something to say about Surya Kumar Yadav being dropped, in fact, even Ishan Kishan, one of these two. My big question here is, will Rohit Sharma have the guts to do it? Because the reason I am asking this question is because to me it feels if you're leaving out Sanju Samson to accommodate Surya Kumar Yadav or Ishan Kishan, then you're I feel it's kind of political because Ishan Kishan and Surya Kumar Yadav both play under Rohit Sharma in the IPL for Mumbai Indians. So if they're being chosen ahead of Sanju Samson, even though Sanju Samson actually has a better average, better stats than these two in one day cricket, then that kind of feels like politics for me. Like Rohit Sharma is basically choosing his IPL teammates. People have criticized MS Dhoni for doing that, and to an extent, they criticized Virat Kohli when he was picking Yuzvendra Chahal in the team and removed Ashwin and Jadeja. They said that Kohli was favoring his RCB teammate. When Dhoni brought in Ashwin, Jadeja, Suresh Raina, people said Dhoni's favoring his IPL teammates, and they even went on with that, even though those three put in contributions for India and helped India win some trophies under his leadership. So when two players like this are not performing and you still select them, then I think that question bears even more fruit.
Yes, of course. So now let's talk about the third ODI. That what is the possibility? But again, Rahul Iyer, don't you think that Rohit Sharma needs some practice? You can't stay in the pavilion and makes you fit for a World Cup because you need a practice. You have to come in the middle of the ground, no matter what the team it is, because finally your series is at a cost. So there is a two questions. I heard some media report also. Question is that if Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli is coming, then question for team management is that what you are doing in first two ODIs. Why do you are doing so much experiment? Either you want to bring number one, number four, and number five. You are thinking that yes, number four and number five can be this player. Might be Hardik Pandya will be on number five, four, or five. Then in lower order you can use this type of batsman. But suddenly when Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli will come, automatically Ishan Kishan have to left his place or maybe he will out of the playing 11. It is certain because Rahul Iyer, you will agree with my statement that you can't play Sanju Samson, Ishan Kishan, and Surya Kumar Yadav in a same playing 11 if Rohit and Kohli is playing.
You can't. That will be impossible to do because you also need in the batting lineup some all-rounders like Hardik Pandya and Ravindra Jadeja who can bowl for you, and even Akshar Patel to an extent. So there isn't room for everyone in the squad, in my opinion. But Rohit Sharma, tomorrow is the deciding ODI, and it's actually a very important game. We need to win and win comprehensively in this match to have so that we can take some confidence from this series. Look at this series so far. The first match we didn't win convincingly. Okay, we lost 5 wickets chasing just 115 runs, and then in the second ODI we lost comfortably. We lost very comfortably. From 90 first collapsing from 90 for no loss to 181 all out, and then losing by 6 wickets. And the 4 wickets taken, three were by Shardul Thakur and one by Kuldeep Yadav. Others couldn't even get wickets. If this is a performance against West Indies team, a non-World Cup team, then what'll imagine what'll happen in the World Cup if we do this. So tomorrow, Virat and Rohit have to they have to come in their positions. They have to bat in their positions. Rohit opening, Virat Kohli one down. If had they done that in these first three ODIs, we'd be 2-0 up in the series and with comfortable wins. I have no doubt about it. We would have been 2-0 up with the two comfortable wins right now and going for a 3-0 whitewash. Now we're in this position where we have underperformed in two ODIs and we have to play a decider, possibly a series loss. Let's not forget, since the T20 World Cup last year, India has played 5 ODI series and we've lost three. And the two wins at home were against Sri Lanka and New Zealand, but we lost to Bangladesh, and then we lost a home series against Australia. So uh, that's the thing. We've lost 3 out of 5 bilateral series out of our last 5 bilateral series. This will be 4 out of the last 6, 4 out of 6 since the T20 World Cup. If we lose tomorrow, and this would defeat would be a little bit worse than the other defeats, in my opinion.
Yeah. Okay, so Krishna Nair, don't you think that Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma, in the name of money and fame, they are doing what they want. They are going to rest. They are going for vacations. They are thinking that IPL is important. Then they play each and every matches. But when it's come to World Cup, they are thinking about rest. They are thinking about in a name of giving the opportunities. He is not playing the game, and suddenly he comes to World Cup. So Krishna and I, don't you think that this type India can't win the World Cup? You need to come into the ground and lead from the front, especially Rohit and Virat Kohli.
Yeah, exactly, Konal. If you see 2022 T20 World Cup as well, before the T20 World Cup, Rohit Sharma and Kohli, I don't know whether he was playing in the 11, but Rohit Sharma was playing in the 11 in each and every bilateral series which India played and won every most of the bilateral series India won. But when it came to World Cup, India choked in semi-final. So in this in preparation of ODI World Cup in uh, in 2023, whichever bilateral series apart from that Australia ODI series which recently happened when India lost 2-1. After that, India I can't see Rohit Sharma and Kohli playing in same 11. They are taking rest or giving some excuses to take rest and going to tours and roaming outside. So this is not time to rest or tour. This is time for preparation of ODI World Cup. And only 2 months are left for the ODI World Cup. You have to start preparing from tomorrow. I hope Kohli and Rohit Sharma both play tomorrow in the series decider because there was some rumors that Kohli will miss the as per ESPN it was
Yes,
rumored that
yes,
Kohli will miss the third ODI, but I don't know whether he will play tomorrow or not. Hope he plays and I feel India will win the if both plays. I feel India will win the series decider because both have experience. So I feel no position will be changed tomorrow in the batting order. I hope that doesn't happen, or it will be a big question mark for Rahul Dravid and BCCI. Why are you changing your batting positions when World Cup is nearby you?
yeah. Okay. So according to you, you tell me, Krishna Nair, that in your playing 11, both Ishan Kishan and Sanju Samson will be there. So do you think that same thing should be happen tomorrow? Means Rohit Sharma, Shubman Gill, Virat Kohli, and then Ishan Kishan and Sanju Samson. Your
Yeah,
top
I
five.
hope that happens, but I don't want to see Surya Kumar Yadav batting. Yeah, I feel again he will fail. He won't score even a 40 or a 50 run tomorrow because he doesn't have that confidence to score that in ODI cricket, and his form in ODI cricket has gone down seriously. So I want to see Sanju Samson playing over Hardik Pandya. I want to see that tomorrow.
Okay. Okay, so we have subscriber Abhinav is saying that I'm ignoring him. I'm not ignoring you. I'm showing you a comment. So Abhinav, can you tell me what happened to Rohit Sharma? Why he is doing so much rest? India need to World Cup. India need to want win a World Cup. Not only going into the semi-final. So as a fan, what is your views that Rohit Sharma must play or he will play directly in the World Cup? So, what is your views? Don't you think that Rohit and Virat should play from today, each and every match? I hope Abhinav, you understand my question. Yes, Abhinav, I am serious. I am talking seriously about Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma because in a middle order we have so many problems. Only top three is fixed: Shubman Gill, Rohit Sharma, and Virat Kohli. So according to we are dependent on top three to win the World Cup. Okay, so Rahul, can you justify this statement? He's saying that Rohit is doing for a good of a team for future. So is this a time to do something for future, or is this a time to do a preparation?
No, see, 2 months for ODI World Cup. You focus on the ODI World Cup first. You focus on future and all that. You can focus after the World Cup is over.
Yes.
After that, you can focus on future as much as you want. And first of all, if you're focusing on the future, you don't put Ishan Kishan as an opening batsman. Uh, in ODI cricket, everyone knows Ishan Kishan is never going to be an opening batsman for India. So, is that really caring about the future? Sorry, I don't think so. You don't care about the future by having Sanju Samson batting at number three. That is another thing that we need to get very clear. Or Akshar Patel batting at number four. These are not three of your top four batsmen were not in the previous match are not top four batsmen. They should all be in the middle order. So that's not building for the future in any match. No match is having these three in your top four called caring about the future. And besides, Rohit Sharma has been a captain for 2 years, and a lot of people keep throwing the excuse that for whether it's the World Test Championship final this year or the T20 World Cup last year, that if we had Bumrah, we would have won. They say it's a very convenient excuse out for losing, which is we didn't have Bumrah, so we can't do anything. Now it's been 2 years since Rohit has become captain. Have we? Do we have a replacement for Bumrah? Still no. We're still saying that we need Bumrah to be fit. Otherwise, nothing will happen. You can't what to say, build a team like that by saying only if such and such players are there in the team we will win. Otherwise, we'll just get humiliated and come. We'll just go play the match, do whatever we want.
Yeah. Okay, so question to Krishna Nair. Krishna Nair, Vinav is saying, so he is saying that top three is not that much solid. You are agree with this statement? Virat Kohli, Shubman Gill, Rohit Sharma.
Yeah, especially Kohli and all top the concern, especially Gill. Gill at least he's doing well at home, but Rohit and Kohli are struggling in every conditions. If you see again, ODI India and New Zealand as well. Apart from 150 from Rohit Sharma, both Kohli and Rohit failed in that ODI series. Even Rohit and Kohli missed the South Africa ODI series, which India won that series 2-1 under Shikhar Dhawan's captaincy. So that series also both missed. I
That
feel
was
that series.
Krishna. That series was before the T20 World Cup, if you recall. So I don't blame them for missing that ODI series because they had to go to Australia to prepare for the ODI. Sorry, for the T20 World Cup. So they had to miss that ODI series in order to go to Australia and get preparation. So that one you can't blame them for missing that ODI series.
Oh yeah, so but the reason ODI performances are so poor, if you see performance against Australia, New Zealand, and Sri Lanka as well, their performance is not good. And I know Kohli made
Two
Kohli's Sri
centuries. He
Lanka
scored two
ODI.
centuries
Yeah,
against Sri Lanka. He didn't do very well against New Zealand. Against
yeah,
Australia, though, he did score a 15 on a difficult pitch in Chennai in the last match. That I'll say. He scored a 50 on a very difficult Chennai wicket in a tricky run chase. Unfortunately, it didn't result in a winning cause for India. That is the problem. But again, winning cause is not in a single player's hand. They can only do their best
yeah.
by scoring the runs and trying to help the team win. Whether the team wins or not, that's not entirely in their hands.
Yes, of
It
course.
depends on
Yeah,
performance of other
but
players as well.
Kunal, you said top three is a problem, but in Indian conditions, Gill has been the highest run scorer for the Indian team, and it World Cup is in India, so I don't think Gill will not score for the Indian team in ODI World Cup. I feel he's the main batter to see in the ODI World Cup. By his form, his last ODI series was brilliant. Uh, I feel he will do well in this ODI series, but the main concern is Rohit Sharma and Kohli's form in ODI
Yeah.
World Cup.
So, coming to that subject, yes, he has a good record in India, Shubman Gill. But the thing is, you need Rohit and Virat Kohli to be in form. You can't depend on Shubman Gill, who's a world. He's going to be a World Cup debutant in this World Cup. This is his first World Cup. You have to keep that in mind. So you can't depend on somebody who's playing their first World Cup to be your main batsman in the tournament. You need it to be someone like Virat Kohli or Rohit Sharma, who's played in many World Cups. You need them to rise to the occasion. So when we say top three not solid, yeah, maybe in terms of form, you can say it's not solid, but in terms of team selection, it is solid because we know that these are going to be our top three. We know top three are going to be Rohit Sharma, Shubman Gill, and Virat Kohli. If anything in this ODI World Cup preparation, we have zeroed in on that. At least we zeroed in on who our top three is going to be. So, and that is, in fact, why Kunal and I are, and a lot of Indian fans are very annoyed with the first two ODIs against the West Indies because they tampered with the top three. More than the results, that is our concern. The fact that we lost the second ODI against West Indies is just what to say. It's the icing on the cake. Let's put it that way, or the tip of the iceberg, if I have to put it in another way.
Yes, of course. And we are getting so much comments. So thank you very much, guys, for your support too. Yes, this is after all of your support that we are in a good discussion. Yeah. Okay. So now let's talk about Ashes too, because we have so many discussion of Indian team. So finally, I am hoping Rahul Ayyar that tomorrow we will very happy, not so angry like second ODI that we have seen so many wholesale changes. You can say it wholesale changes because suddenly we see Hardik Pandya is a captain, Virat is out, Rohit is out, and Ishan Kishan is again opening. So let's see what will happen tomorrow. So our prime focus is World Cup. So now for Ashes, let's come to Krishna Nair. So Krishna Nair, how you are feeling after the England win it and 2-2?
Yeah, feeling happy, especially for Broad that he got his last wicket and he got two crucial wickets as well. But wicket is a wicket, unless whatever. But in his farewell Test match, he got two uh, two crucial wickets, and finally England bowled them out, and it was unbelievable. Nobody expect England would win this Test match and draw because Oz were favourites, considering they have 10 wickets. But when the as time went, pressure built on, and especially Vokes, the game changer. He changed the game for England team. The wickets of Smith and who was batting with him. Yeah.
I think I think Krishna Nair's feed has gone
Yes, yes,
off.
I'm there. No, I'm saying that
Okay.
with Steve Smith, who was batting with him, I don't remember.
Yeah. Okay. Uh, yes. So Rahul Ayyar, I think that is a historical day for England too, and Broad
Yeah,
too,
absolutely.
and
Yeah, and absolutely. And I would say maybe England, now that they've drawn this series 2-2, they could consider themselves a little bit unlucky because if it wasn't for rain in Manchester, in Old Trafford, they would have probably won the series 3-2. It would have been a come from behind 3-2 Ashes victory for
even
England.
I think if in the first Test match, if they took the wicket, definitely they will win the series 3-2. That was
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
possibility.
yeah, I am back, Kunal.
Yeah.
yeah, so definitely I would say England came very close to regaining the Ashes in this series. There was every chance of them being able to do it, but unfortunately, key moments in both Edgbaston as well as in Lords kind of cost them that ability. Unfortunately, as far as regaining the Ashes is concerned, it's going to be, I think, a longer wait, because doing regaining the Ashes in Australia in 2025, 2026, that's going to be very difficult. Of course, we don't know where Australia will be uh, at that point, and then so they it might be another 4 year wait until 2027 for them to try and regain the Ashes again. So that is the only disappointment for England, but they are very unlucky, you would say, uh, with the rain in Manchester. If we keep all the other results a constant, forgetting about like the ifs and buts and all that. I mean, the biggest ifs and buts is the rain in Manchester, because uh, without that rain, England was winning that match hands down. In fact, probably the only one-sided contest of this series was in Manchester. That test match was looking totally one-sided in favor of England. All the other test matches came very close, and you look at the score lines. First test match in Edgbaston, Australia won by just 2 wickets. The second test in Lords, Australia won by 43 runs. Third test match, England won by 3 wickets. Then in this match, England won by 49 runs. So look at all the margins of victory. All of these were close matches and nail biting finishes. All the four tests which had results. Only Manchester was one sided. Uh,
Yes, of course. Okay, so Krishan Nair, do you think that uh, if we talk about this England team improved a lot. Especially they are utilizing the Moeen Ali in a right manner and right way. Utilization of Chris Wokes, that is a bigger positive for this side. And I think suddenly he will bring another bowler in place of Stuart Broad. Might oh yeah, he is going. So Rahul Ayyar, I think we have so many discussion of Ashes each and every video. So I think there is no need to say anything about this team. England is at its best in the Test cricket now.
Yeah, absolutely. I think England did a lot better in this test series than I think we all expected. We have to give England credit for that. And I think this baseball approach, we have been very critical of it in many aspects, but it has its merits. And the biggest advantage right now, I'll say, is for England, it is getting results. England is getting results with this
Baseball
baseball
approach.
baseball approach. They all nearly retained the Ashes this time, so it's got them results. So we cannot tell them not to play baseball. Now, of course, now the question will be: will it work in India next year when they tour India?
Yes,
That is going to be the big question. But I think uh, let's. I don't want to rule it out. I think they will be competitive when they play in India next year, and I think they will at least win one test match at worst. At worst, they will. It'll be 4-1. They'll win one test match though.
yes,
Worst case scenario.
yes, of course. Okay, so Christian Nair, do you think after this Ashes, if we talk about the World Test Championship too, both Australian team and England team will be dependent on Team India when they play with Team India 5 Test matches series. Their series result will decide whether they will in the final or not.
Yeah, absolutely. And inclusion of Markwood and Vokes should have been from the test one. Whenever these two players played in a test 11, England 11 never lost a test match. Especially in English conditions, England never lost a test match when Vokes and Wood played together. And England should have won the Ashes series, but the declaration in the first test, as per the WTC table is concerned, England should have won the first test. Root should have played. That I know that day is gone, but still England should have won this Ashes series. They were more competitive in this Ashes series. They were means what you know. They were trying their out, trying their out. hard. They were trying very hard to win this Ashes series, but unfortunately, the luck didn't favor England. So still, England has to play good competitive cricket in India to compete for the WTC cycle, because winning in India is very difficult, especially in this rank turners which India make. That's very difficult. So I feel England should try, at least not winning the series, at least win two Test matches with your approach of cricket. So even if England wins two Test matches in India, that will be great result for England, I feel.
Yes, of course. And so let's see what will happen. But
Yeah.
what if?
So, as far as Australia is concerned, actually, if we're talking about the World Test Championship, I think this result is a good result for them. I mean, of course, they've retained the Ashes. That apart, in an away series, they have drawn 2-2. That too, this was going to be their toughest assignment. This away series was going to be their toughest away series, the one in England, because apart from this, now their two away series are against New Zealand and Sri Lanka, and Australia. They might struggle in Sri Lanka a bit, but they can come away with a win over there for sure. They can definitely come away with a win in one test match, at least a series draw from Sri Lanka, if not a series win. And then against New Zealand in test cricket, Australia has been dominating the scene. They've been dominating New Zealand both home and away. So, frankly speaking, I see New Zealand, especially if New Zealand doesn't choose Trent Bolt in their playing 11. I see the away series in New Zealand, which is also around the same time as the India England series, that is in uh, being played in February, March, the same time that India is touring England, they will be touring New Zealand. So I think Australia can get full points from the tour of New Zealand, and then at home I think they should get be able to get full points against Pakistan and West Indies that they have coming up this summer. Then if they can hopefully try to regain the border Gavaskar trophy against India, because they'll be playing it at home in the 2024-2025 cycle. So I think Australia doesn't. I'm saying all this because I kind of think Australia doesn't need to worry too much about the result between India and England, in my opinion, because now they've drawn this Ashes series 2-2. So, and India is likely to win the series against England, in my opinion. So, given those two things, Australia, they don't need to worry about what happens uh, in that series, as long as India, even if England somehow wins that series, they're not going to win it by a very significantly huge margin. Let's say England, by chance, they win 3-2. It will be 3-2 or a very close margin. They're not going to defeat India by a lot in a series in India. So Australia doesn't have to worry too much about that series, in my opinion, because one way or the other, England is going to drop a lot of points in India, World Test Championship points, and Australia has a lot of World Test Championship points that they are likely to win, in my opinion. So these have to be kept in mind.
Yeah, of course. So that will be a great discussion. Thank you very much, Krishna Nair, for your time, and Rahul Iyer, you too. So hope for a good win for Team India, and finally we lift the trophy after the great Test series. We will definitely beat them in ODI series, and hoping for a good contest in T22. Because, but one thing, Rahul and Krishna Nair, last question that I just
It's
now remember.
actually this T20 series is more useful than the ODI series, although this is an ODI World Cup year, because next year T20 World Cup is happening in the West Indies, so we get this is our chance to play in those conditions.
Yes, of course. Okay, so Krishna Nair, morning I got a news that finally Mumbai Indians win the trophy. So there we see the Nicholas Puran. He was just in a great form. You can say he was playing like a blast, like a bomb blast. 137 runs in a finale. Don't you think, Krishna Nair, that Nicholas Puran should be with his team? should be with West Indies team. Then West Indies team slightly looking better in the middle
Yeah,
order.
yeah, especially Nicholas Puram, which form is uh, carrying. I didn't expect that for MI New York, he would play such a blasting innings, man. Puran, it gave shock to everybody because nobody expected MI New York to win this USA League. So it was unexpected that MI New York would win. So it came out nowhere by Puran blasting this sixes and dropping Puran from ODI cricket is also bad for West Indies. He's experienced cricketer which I hope in the ODI setup. I feel he will play the T20 series because he has the T20 more. Yes, he knows how to play T20 cricket much better than ODI cricket. So I feel he will come back in the T20 series. If he doesn't come in T20 series, then West Indies board, all credit goes to West Indies board. Put
Yes, of
player like
course.
yeah, player like Puran who is blasting this, I feel he should play the T20 series at least.
Yes, of course. So Rahul Ayyar, your views for Nicholas Puran?
Yeah, Nicholas Puran should be playing for West Indies, in my opinion, but he chose Major League Cricket over playing for the West Indies. And given the way he's batting, he's definitely capable of. It's not like he doesn't have international cricket ahead of him. He can clearly still play. He still got it in him, and looking at his leadership, of course, he wasn't the main captain for Mumbai Indians in New York in Major League cricket. In fact, actually, it was Kyron Pollard, but Kyron Pollard got injured, and Nicholas Puran, he was able to take over this Mumbai Indians New York team and lead them to the trophy. So uh, he's shown that he has captaincy abilities too. He can probably offer that uh, to West Indies as well. Who knows? So, and he led Mumbai Indians to the trophy, New York to the trophy
Yeah.
from the eliminator. Let's not forget, eliminator qualified too, and final they won. Even in IPL, it's very rare for a team to. We've seen in so many seasons. I think in IPL, in like a 10-year history of this qualifier system, only Sunrisers Hyderabad in 2016 was able to lift the IPL trophy after playing the eliminator. And
Yes.
Mumbai Indians New York in Major League Cricket has done it in the very first season itself.
Yes, of course. So let's see what will happen. But yes, all the best to Indian teams. Finally, we will see the Virat and Rohit. You can say combinedly, there's a name that each and every fan is giving Rohit and Virat, Rohirat, right?
Rohirat, I sometimes call them Roko. I
Yeah,
mean Rohit Kohli. Yes,
yeah.
so
Yeah, so Rohit Rat is better, and so and thank you very much, Abhinav. Thank you very much, Chitra, Miss Chitra, for your time and your coming always in
thank you,
my life.
Kunal.
And thank you very much, Rahul, for your time too. And we will definitely tomorrow we will come and discuss about the Indian team, what was the performance, and I hope that that will be not a one-sided match. After first inning, we will discuss that what will happen in second inning, like a second ODI. So hope for a great comeback from West Indies too. So if there is a good contest between two teams, then fans would like that match.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So thank you very much, guys, and thank you very much, all my
Thank
friends
you, Kunal.
coming and just subscribe KFCS and share it also. So thank you very much. Goodbye and good night.
Good night.